Deadlock, a game which opened up its doors for invite-only closed beta testing in late summer of 2024, is a hero-based multiplayer online battle arena set in 1940s New York that sees a cast of supernatural monsters, agents, and even gods team up to complete a ritual, summoning a deity known as patrons. Today we look at Abrams, a well-known detective of New York, a hard-boiled, hard-hitting bruiser of a character that focuses on engaging groups of enemies and relying on his high health, high damage output, and life-draining abilities to stay in the fight. We'll break down his stats, strats, and abilities to give you all the information you need to start smashing heads with this bull-headed beast. At 720 base HP, scaling plus 49 every boon, Abrams is seated at 9th in terms of HP compared to other heroes. And with 3 stamina, he matches most others in mobility potential. Abrams' weapon of choice is called Case Closed, a close-range shotgun-type revolver that does devastating damage up close, right where Abrams wants to be. With a fall-off range of 46 meters, it's one of the shorter-range weapons with a 6-pellet spread in a box-like formation. Abrams can also load a single bullet, one at a time, a feature in his gun that is unique compared to other heroes. Siphon Life is Abrams' first ability, a 10-meter, 4-second duration skill that drains health from nearby enemies in front of you, dealing spirit damage over time and healing you for the portion of the damage dealt. At 32 damage per second with a 60% lifesteal rate, it is an effective tool used by Abrams to stay in the fight. The last upgrade sees this damage doubled, which along with a previous upgrade to duration and spirit scaling, increases this ability's effectiveness at mitigating some of the damage you're going to inevitably take being right in front of people's faces. Shoulder Charge is Abrams' second ability, which sees a 1.4 second charge forward, pulling enemies in front of you. Pushing a hero into a wall applies a stun, allowing you and your team to follow up with devastating combos which will truly bullhead through even the toughest competition. With a 25% weapon amp, a half a second stun duration increase, and a 22-second cooldown decrease off of 37, this becomes one of the core abilities Abrams uses to initiate the fight. Infernal Resilience is a passive that sees bonus defensive attributes. Taking damage grants temporary regeneration for a portion of the damage took over 20 seconds. The first 2 upgrades of this ability see 1.5 health regen and 150 max health, which is practically an entire tier 1 extra health, giving Abrams ample sustainability both in lane and in between jungle camps. Seismic Impact is Abrams' ultimate ability, which sees him leap high into the air before crashing down onto the ground, dealing spirit damage in a 10.5 meter radius and applying a stun to all enemies hit. At rank 2, we see a max HP and fire rate amp, which makes this an unbelievably efficient tool at being able to lock enemies down and secure kills. When used with items like Vortex Web or Lash's ultimate Death Slam, this becomes an unbelievable ability that has the potential to end games with one click of a button. Now that we've talked about Abrams' abilities and their upgrades, let's talk about how to utilize his kit to effectively bullhorn enemies into submission. Siphon Life is something you'll always proc when close to enemies. Its sustain is crucial for longer engagements and will keep you in the fight. Shoulder Charge is your bread and butter. Use this with items like Warp Stone and Phantom Strike to surprise your enemies and pin them before they even have a chance to react. Items like Cold Front will slow enemies and keep them in front of you. Don't be afraid to use your ability as a way to disengage when things get too hairy. Back off and regenerate using your third ability's passive, and then come back in when you're topped off and ready to start the brawl again. Abrams is best when paired with people who can group enemies up or slow them to allow him ample time to get up close. That means heroes like Lash, Dynamo, Elvin, or Ivy become great allies you can work with to set up insane combos that will make quick work of teams that don't respect your amazing lockdown ability and burst damage. When itemizing Abrams early, getting items like Restorative Shot and extra regen supplements your sustain, which keeps you in lane longer than most heroes can achieve. Grabbing a cold front and opening rounds as soon as possible gives you a shockingly high burst, which will net you early game kills if you are able to find openings. Mid-game, look to grab important items like Warpstone or Phantom Strike to help you initiate onto enemies and burst them down, allowing you and your team plenty of opportunities to control when and where the enemy can be at all times. In the late, look to grab items like Torment Pulse to increase your passive AoE damage when brawling up close, and resist items like Spirit Shielding or Weapon Shielding to keep you from being burst down when you rush in. Also, items like Point Blank, Hunter's Aura, Crushing Fist, and Berserker synergize perfectly with Abrams to give you all the damage you'll need to bring down even the toughest of opponents. An example of an endgame build would be something like Spirit Shielding, Hunter's Aura, Life Strike, Weighted Shots, Fortitude, Juggernaut, Berserker, Point Blank, Spirit Snatch, Warpstone, Crushing Fists, and Phantom Strike. Utilizing this build will give you all the sustain you need in between fights, keep you fast and mobile, while giving you amazing melee damage and gun damage to make you a true terror on the battlefield. Now that you have a great base of strategies and items you can use to make the most out of Abrams, you too can bull rush your way to victories in Deadlock. Tell me in the comments your favorite Abrams builds and anything that I might have missed. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you come back for a breakdown on our next hero, Bebop, the explosive scrap golem of New York.